The housing crisis is not a market failure, it's a government failure. Today, I'm joined by David Powell, who is the boss man of Andrews, the 40 branch estate agency network from Bristol to London. Thanks for joining me today, David. You said before you switched the cameras on that you believe Britain's housing crisis is a government, not a market issue. Why did you say that? Talk to me.
Yeah, this is something I've spent a little bit of time thinking about over the last probably 6 9 months, particularly as we've seen Labour come in with a lot of promises around housing, and much of which has not been delivered. When we look at necessities in life, we need food, we need water, we need a home, and I'm not convinced that actually property, homes, should be used as a political game. And I'd like to see some form of method where actually housing is taken away from central government. So actually, the processes and policies that come in play are there to create housing, um, and look after that as a core purpose, not whether or not you can win votes through the necessity of.
I mean, you could say it all started with Margaret Thatcher, we're in Grantham today. She's the daughter of Grantham. Um, that was the catalyst of this problem. Do you think if we hadn't sold the council houses off, we would have less of an issue now?
No, I think the issue's still there. You've got rising populations. I think there's been a significant change in the way people look at property as well during that period. We're in a very different time. So, look, if the government at that period, as you referred to, and I remember it well, I was just about old enough to capture my parents buying houses at 16, 17, 18%. But yes, if you kept the government property, the council housing, as it's referred to, then fine. That would have taken an awful lot of maintenance, which would have come at a significant cost, and they would have had to keep building it at a certain rate, and that's probably been replaced with shared housing
Yep,
association
housing
policies.
associations certainly take not all of it, but a nice chunk of it.
I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue more so is we've had two governments now that have quite aggressively tackled the PRS market, which I think in some places is right because these properties should have a minimum standard. But they've quite aggressively tackled those, which has seen landlords exit the market with no real replacement of putting that property back. That's what's creating
Hold
the
on a
issue.
second. The stats don't actually show that. The stats show that the number of rental properties, even in the last 3 or 4 years, has not dropped.
No,
Okay, it's not going up as much as it was.
for me, that's being masked by the rise of build to rent. So you have got big tower blocks going up in city centres, which is fantastic if that's the type of rental property you want. But that's not catering for the family of four that live in a suburb or a small village, a small town. So it's the type of property that is available.
Okay.
Um, and again, back to the point, we have a growing population. So you can't just stay static, we've got to grow as well.
That's the supply side. What do you think government have been too focused on the demand side, with Help to Buy and other such things?
I think I think a lot of the government actions have been well intended. Unfortunately, most of them have hurt the people they're trying to help. We've seen rents rise at quite a mm, scary rate, in all fairness, where landlords are having to tackle additional responsibilities. And we're seeing, mortgage rates have increased. Yes, well, they come back down now, but we've gone through that period where they've been going up. So naturally, it's got to work. They've had tax advantages taken away as well. So the cost to a landlord has risen, which means through everything the government has chosen to do, the last two governments, that has meant higher rents. That meant the person they're trying to help has ended up paying more money for it. That doesn't make any sense.
So what's the solution?
I think the solution is it's I don't think government should be winning votes on what they're going to do with the housing market. I don't think that should be right. So I think if you can separate from central government, I think it's a start. I think with a true long-term plan of how you're going to resolve the property crisis, I think it's got to be affordable for people to buy their own home if that's what they want to do. Not everyone wants to, and I think that's often missed sometimes. But if the quickest way to get cheaper property into the rental market is to increase supply. Yeah, if we can double the supply and rented property, the rents will drop. That will help the people that are there. And whilst yes, that might mean that some landlords might make more money, but well, if that means more people have a home, then that's got to be a good thing.
Thank you for your time today, David. Put your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with David? Love to know your thoughts. Thanks for your time today.